Well, I'd say, consumers kind of goes along with what we talked about on the retail side. They talked really about the millennials and they don't want to go through the traditional process. So I think you have to start thinking about, how do I serve a different kind of population? It's really about transforming what we've grown up as kind of an operational automation of points of care and removing the complexity internally, and we've shifted the complexity to our customers. And we really have to switch that model around and think about how do we take the complexity out of the interactions that we have with patients and consumers. And if we have to move a little complexity back inside, then how do we work on automating and streamlining that? But you really have to shift your thinking as an organization from what I'd call a process and operational driven company to a consumer or retail type company. And as part of that, the Internet of Things is all this information that can be collected and the patients are looking at on their own is what's the plan for incorporating that? How are you working with Apple or whoever to bring that data in to make it relevant to providers? So I think it causes us, for me, it's really shifting, and everything has to be thought of as more of a patient consumer focused thinking, not about how can I make this part of my operation more efficient, but how can I make that interaction? Because as you said, you don't want to lose the relationship.
Yep. And I'll just close out this section with my story around our portal. So when I became the CIO, we had a portal project underway. And first of all, the fact that we called it a portal said we didn't really understand the consumer. But the next thing is that we had a list of 8 things that we said, these are the priorities. And I sort of looked at the list and I said, where did this list come from? And it came internally. And when you're becoming a consumer company, you have to develop a new set of muscles. And those muscles are, how do you listen to the consumer? And so we decided to actually do focus groups. We did a couple of things to get the voice of the consumer. And it turns out that our list of 1 through 8 was backwards. They took number 8 and they thought it was the most important, and our number 1 was their number 8. And so, number 1 was, get that medical record right. And we were spending tons of time arguing, getting the data just right within that medical record. And what the consumers told us is, if you could do patient scheduling and you can do essentially secure texting with their provider, those would be the 2 most important things they wanted.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? 90% of our effort is around this, what is number 8 in priority. And so it's just a different set of muscles.
Yeah, it's just a different lens.